Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. Hey, I thought I'd talk a little bit today about some of the lenses that I encourage my students to look at their bodies and their movements through in order to help them become their own teachers of the style and type of Tai Chi that I teach. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, and a lot of different approaches, and this is not the universal one. This is just one that I use, so that's what I'm going to talk about. Nothing special. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, just making a little video.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's no worries. No, walk right through. Doesn't matter.
You sure?
Totally.
Okay.
That's what editing is for.
Just take a walk around the park.
No worries, man. It's a great day to do it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, anyways, I teach forms and exercises and drills, and all of which I tell my students from the first lesson. We stand in a basic neutral stance, and I tell them everything we do in this system from now on is going to pressure test this. It's going to pressure test this state of neutrality and readiness, because balance is about making corrections. And you can't make a correction if you're not ready to make a correction, and you can't even know if you're out of balance unless you're kind of in balance to begin with and feel it being disturbed. So we find this unforced neutral stance, which includes aligned bones, soft relaxed muscles, loose slightly suspended joints, kinetic chains kind of at the ready, muscle groups at the ready but not quite firing yet because you don't know what's coming yet, right? So it's a kind of a relaxed readiness. And so everything we do in this system pressure tests that. So one of the first lenses is, do you feel that in any given position or any given exercise or drill or thing that you're doing? Do you feel the yin and yang, the firm and the yielding, the relaxed and the solid? Do you feel those things in a dynamic, ready to move kind of balance? Does it feel kind of comfortable, like all your tools are kind of floating in the air around you and you're ready to use any of them, like a yin-yang symbol? Does your body have that? Do you have that feeling? Or is something overly tight or tense, or is something overly soft and yin and relaxed? Is there a dynamic conversation going on between those things? So if not, you have questions, and you can get them answered by your teacher or you can get them answered by yourself, but that's a place to look. That's a place to study and be your own teacher. Another lens is, in any given movement, is that movement rooted in the feet? Are your feet the root of the movement? Are your legs the initiators? Are the legs the power source, right? Is the waist and core the director and amplifier of that power? Does the spine release that out to the shoulder blades? Do the arms express the movement? So we want root, power, direction, little amplification, and expression up here. So the arms don't move themselves. The arms don't initiate. They may initiate in the sense of in a very advanced level where the hand will move first and the body will catch up. If you're trying for very fast preemptive strikes, that you'll need to do that, because the downside of the ripple is that the ripple of power is that it's visible. So you want to conceal that, and a lot of people work on hand first and the body catches up. But generally in our Tai Chi forms, mere mortals here, not looking to become non-telegraphic street fighters, but just looking to be more balanced and harmonious in our bodies and our lives, then one of those key lenses to look at movements through is it rooted in the feet, powered by the legs? A lot of people do this movement in the opening of the form where the hands come up and in and down. Can you do that with your legs? If your style doesn't permit you to rise and fall, I'm not sure how you can do it. But if you sink into your legs when your hands are down, and then rise in your legs as your hands come up, and then sink into your elbows and through your legs and down into the ground when it goes down, then yeah, that's rooted in the feet, powered by the legs. So that's another lens that I try to encourage my students to look at their movements through. Is that the case? If not, you have something to work on. Another really key lens to look at the form through is your spine upright? I know mine isn't particularly right now, But in the form especially, I could do it now, except I might be out of frame, so I'm not sure where I'm at here with the camera, so I'm trying to stay in range. But in the form or in your life, is your tailbone slightly tucked? Is your spine long? Is your chest up a little bit? Are your rotational capacities online, right? Or are they compressed and down here? Are they online? Can you move freely in the waist, right? You can also do kind of a mini lens on any given part of the body. Are your hands rounded, soft, and relaxed? Except when they close or when they come to some kind of an impact. Are the elbows heavy? Are the elbows heavy and relaxed? And if they're going up, are they heading down again? Or are they kind of up and away from you? Shoulders, are they up? Or are they down and relaxed down your back? Unless in that moment when they have to come up, but are they heading down again? You can study the footwork. You can focus your attention on the footwork. Is it conscious? Is it serve the function of the movement that you're doing? Footwork, you can also try to make your footwork quieter. You can make it larger. You can make it smaller. But to study the footwork, that's one of the lenses. Is your stepping serving the function of a dynamic, harmonious balance between yin and yang, that conversation? Or does your footwork lead you to places where you feel off balance? Those are some lenses that I like to direct my students to view their Tai Chi and Tai Chi through in order to teach themselves more about Tai Chi and how to be their own teachers. Andy used to tell me, my teacher Andy Dale in Seattle used to tell me that like the form and the exercises are like a big library. I'm the researcher and he's the librarian, and he's pointing me to what to research for myself, to teach myself this. And gradually I need him less and less, because I'm using my own sense of those things in order to learn and improve and get closer to my training goals, which is to embody that dynamic balance. That's what I want to do. I want to embody that dynamic balance of yin and yang in my life in every area, and I want to integrate that fully, and I want to help other people do that, and I want to do that with as little force as possible. I want to do that in the most relaxed, natural way I can. So another lens that's really nice to apply to Tai Chi and to Tai Chi movements is, do you feel connected inside, or do you feel like a bunch of parts? Sometimes we have to examine parts more closely and really look at them separately, but once you've done that and you've gone back into the whole movement, do you feel a connection between your wrists and your ankles, or between your elbows and your knees, or between your shoulders and your hips? Do you feel a connection between the parts of the body, or do you feel like one or two parts is kind of disjointed and not part of the whole field of your awareness and movement? And if so, I try to encourage my students to figure out why that's the case and to bring it into balance. We're looking to embody that balance, so it has to appear in the body. So another great lens is to look in the mirror, or to video your stuff. I encourage my students to video their forms and stuff so they can see from another perspective what does it look like, both in terms of form but also in terms of flow and in terms of function. I had another one. Oh yeah, if you're doing a kick, in our style we sink into the leg that's not kicking and then rise out of that leg, out of this leg to kick with that one. But regardless of whether you do that, any kick that you do, or any kick that we do, I encourage my students to look at it and say, can you repeat it without putting your foot down? Can you repeat that kick? Can you go back and repeat that kick again and again with your standing leg solid, just being the spring behind the kick, but not twisting or anything. Another key one is just the knees. One of the lenses is just watch the knees. Are they twisting? Are they pointing towards space, or are they pointing towards more or less the middle of your foot? Exploring the very edges of knee alignment is something that some elite movers do, and some people might claim that it's good for ordinary people, but I don't think so. I've just seen too many people with screwed up knees, and I think that what most of us mortals need is to track our knee in the same direction as the foot. But that's a great lens to look at Tai Chi too. I have the knees tracking over the toes. And can you repeat kicks? Can you stand on one leg with your joints suspended and relaxed? Can you put some pressure on your posture and your movement and still maintain that sense of unforced balance? So those are some of the lenses that I ask my students to look at their own movements through. I sometimes call it theming your practice. So you pick a practice theme and then you run through the form with that particular practice theme in mind. Anything can be a theme. Even just running through the form just to make sure you still remember it can be a theme if you do it consciously. Unconsciously, it's much better than watching TV, but it's for you, but it's probably not as good a training as if you consciously adopt it as a conscious theme. Other themes can be some of the things I've mentioned. Are the movements rooted in the feet? Are my knees tracking over my toes? Is my inner hips and waist, this whole area in here, is this relaxed and comfortable? Is my spine long and upright? My chin back a little bit, head down a little bit? Is my head free? Is it free and comfortable? Are my shoulders loose? Are my elbows down? Are my wrists relaxed? All these kind of things. Pick one of them as a theme and look at your practice through that lens, and gradually it'll inform that sense of unforced balance. And eventually that alone will essentially be your teacher. That will be the lens. Do I have unforced balance? When you look at the knee, do I have unforced balance? When you look at the shoulders, do I have unforced balance? Whatever you look at, does it resonate with the physical experience of that? Not just the conscious or the idea, but the physical experience of that. Does it, can I feel it there? And do I feel that kind of balance in my movements and in my breathing and in my my life? So I'm not saying that I'm a perfect example of this. I'm someone who's looking through those lenses too, and it's improved my life greatly and improved my balance greatly and my health and fitness greatly, and I encourage others to do the same. It's not the best and the only way to do this. It's a particular way of doing it, and this is what I do and what I encourage my students to do, and I watch their balance improve and I watch their health and their lives improve from this practice if they take it on, if they actually do it. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I do a lot of videos like this, and I also do some music videos and nature videos and stuff. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to my channel or visit GeneBurnett.com.